Hi, it's Annabelle. Bambi's also here on the bed, but he's just a little bit too short to make it in. Hello! Today I am going to tell you a little bit about the cameras I've used to film. Many of my longtime viewers would know that I started YouTube in high school. My channel was actually called This, That, and Sparkles. I started as a DIY channel. But what I feel like almost nobody knows, before I started my YouTube channel, I actually vlogged quite a bit. I have a dear aunt that lives abroad, so I wanted to update her on my daily life. What I didn't know I was doing is I was vlogging, kind of priming my life for what I would do for a job years later. This is the camera that I used. So before I had an official YouTube channel and filmed videos off of that, I made my videos with this little Kodak E1S or E15. At the time though, hold on, it was pretty state of the art. It almost looks like a smartphone BlackBerry. It shoots 720 at the highest, but the SD card I was using, you can only shoot for like 10 minutes. I even put a little bit of tape on the red light that would be shining every time you record because it would show up in reflections and whatnot, and that was super annoying. And chronologically, the next camera I have, I'm going to save for last because that's kind of what this video is all about. I really wanted to invest in a DSLR. All of the people I was watching and admired on YouTube at the time used a Canon T4i, I believe was the newest model. I want to be a YouTuber, I gotta get that T4i, and everybody else was just buying it, making unboxing videos. I did that. I told my mom, can you buy this for me up front and I will pay you back the full amount, $40 a month. And I think I paid her back in a little bit more than 2 years. Sorry, I just realized okay. And I don't have that camera to show you. That brings me to, I feel like one of the most famous, ubiquitous vlogging cameras ever, which are my, God, what's the name? My Canon G7X Mark 1 and 2. This is the original one that I bought when I started college, I think. I believe this was recommended by Claire Marshall because she vlogged so much back in the day and she was like my #1 inspiration. What I love about it is you can basically get high definition footage in a small point and shoot. So no more lugging around my DSLR because I did do that. My New York vlog, I walked around when my mom took us here to visit universities for Lilith, was so heavy. What was important in the T4i is the viewfinder, which you also get here. What's better and worse about Mark II is that the back hinge, there's 2 hinges because it will flip down slightly. So if you're ever trying to shoot something like that flat lay, you can push it up. That is like a curse as well because the hinges are extremely fragile. The bolts like to pop out. I've bought replacement bolts and it continues to pop out, and to this day I have like duct tape holding down the hinges together. My secondary warning is that when the autofocus goes, it makes a really terrible sound. It would be like I give up. Every time the camera is focusing, it will make that like kind of notchy sound in the background. So I take measures to prevent that from happening, such as making sure I have manual focus on, or I use an external mic. By the way, that hissing is my radiator and there's no stopping that because my old New York apartment building, that's just how it works. Another notable difference I love about Mark II is that you can click a little asterisk thing that will pause the exposure. For example, if I'm vlogging and I know I want to walk from in to outdoors, I'm going to go outside and first keep the exposure to exactly where I want it so that when I walk and I vlog, it's not gonna blow out and everything's just gonna be white. That is my spiel about the Canon G7Xs. They're kind of like my bread and butter because I've been using it for 4 years, 5 years. I've almost been graduated for a year. Okay, now this is like an heirloom. It's very special to me, and this is kind of why I wanted to make this video. The backstory is my grandparents were trying to get immigration papers approved to come to America and live with us for so long, especially when my mom was a single mom. There was 1 week where my mom came to us and was like, oh, this might be it. There's a very good chance that grandma and grandpa, 外公外婆, will come and they will be here next Tuesday. And it was like this crazy surreal feeling. 5 years later, I don't even remember the exact date, but in 2012, or was it 13, they finally were able to move. And my grandfather brought along his trusty video camera. That just makes me go into a completely different tangent about my 外公, who passed away in 2018. We always have him in our thoughts, especially when I go to the gardens, you know, how special it was to him and how talented he was at planting. And my 外公 loved to create vlogs. They were more like regarded as home videos, but everything was on CDs because that was like the new technology. Documenting our families, random holidays, and different gatherings. This isn't obviously the one that he started out with because he also like got more advanced ones over the years. He was always about the, what is this called again? Camcorder, which I feel like is now kind of becoming a relic in itself. And the reason why I wanted to preface my using of this camera with this video is just because it's so monumental for me to kind of like first return back to the first camera I ever shot my YouTube video, my public YouTube videos on. It just means a lot to me. Maybe someday I can give this to my grandchild. So basically when I was packing for New York, I was talking to my 外婆. I suddenly remembered, hey, do you still have that video camera? Like, is it back in China or you have it? She was like, no, it's been in the closet for like the last 4 years, the last 5 years. Oh, can I have it? And she's like, okay. I was like, wow. My idea is that this will be kind of my new default vlog camera. This is what it looks like right now at this very moment. And look, I can't show you this. I opened up this SD card. I recognized that it was from the very last time my mom and her younger sister took their parents out on a vacation because this was just the very beginning of his declining health. They went to Southern California. They took a road trip because he loves his plants. They went to a lot of conservatories. I'm going to close out and sign off here. I hope that you enjoy the footage that's about to come to tell this little story to you all, and I'm very grateful. This is very close to my heart, and I'm grateful to be able to share a little bit of a little piece of him that remains with everybody. So I send you my love. I hope that you're taking care, and I will see you next week. Goodbye.
这是别个这个过来当别个，比如说。他们的时间呢？啊？墙没找到，你要不要的不见了，是吧？这把你给我拿来，还给我来，让我站到那个人楼梯那里给我照一张来，你快点。好吧，你在这坐着等我们，坐着等我们。
走啊走啊
走啊走，他走他。哟，这个小镇蛮好玩的啊。当然啊，你给我打过来。给他扶了啊，这是下坡路。他要是他像啊。
啊！
人家路都走不成，他还路都走不了，他还。过来吧。
啊！
过来。快点的。听到冇，爸爸，車我冇動啊。
小人。
真的，你看我一松到它就跑了嘛，你看
不会
这个不行，摸它的那个。
不会不会，
几十步把连都不来。
这不是推到的。
来，我来试。
快！
我那25块钱。
从开会去要6个小时，然后开到夜里4点回去。你也是熟悉桥吧？你来开车是了。